Hello! Welcome back to my channel. My name is October and this is Nerd Boy Reads. If you're new around here, hello. If not, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing my July 2022 TBR. Does have 10 books on it. I'm sorry I don't have a game or anything to play right now. I am relatively new, so I hope to have a more settled game or something to show you how I chose these books in the future, probably around August or September, so stick around for that. But for now, I just kind of picked some books randomly that I was hoping to read. I have a trip to Nebraska planned near the middle of July, so that will help me get a lot of reading done since not a lot happens in Nebraska. But that may help me clear off this TBR a lot faster, and if I need to add to it, I will add to it later down the line and just show you what I've read, in my wrap-up for the month, so be on the lookout for that. But for now, I have these 10 books that I'm going to be talking about that I hope to read, and I'll just be going through them now. The first book I have here is something that I really think I will be able to get through in Nebraska, and that is Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. I've heard about this book a couple of times. It got quite popular, a little bit popular back in the day. This is about a woman who takes a job nannying only to find out that the children spontaneously catch on fire, or, well, not spontaneously. They catch on fire whenever they experience big emotions, and she has to deal with that. That's about all I know about this book. I haven't really read it. The only thing I've heard about it is the children catch on fire whenever they experience big emotions, and I think that's a fun premise. So I picked this up at my local used bookstore, and I am hoping to get through it this month, probably in Nebraska or on the trip to and or from, since I read a lot in the car. So, yeah. Have Tokyo Ueno Station by Yu Miri. This is about, I believe, a ghost who gets trapped in a train station, and we get to watch the adventures and or depression they go through there. It's a relatively short book. It's very tiny, especially compared to like normal sized books, so that's really cute. It's a really nice premise, especially with the mood I am in right now. I can't explain the mood. Night Vale, the Magnus Archives, that kind of mood. This feels like it'll hit it, and I'm really looking forward to read it in July, probably again in Nebraska, since Nebraska's really quiet and this seems like a really quiet, subdued kind of book. Next we have The Liar's Dictionary by Ellie Williams. This is about I believe it's a dual timeline book about a man who creates his own words in the dictionary and or prints his own dictionary with weird words, and then the college student or something who is looking into why he did it, and that's about all I know about it. It seems really nice. I don't know. The vibe is just calling to me in this cover. I really like the peacock book cover. I think I said that when I was showing it in my Every Book on My TBR video. I'll link that down below, so be sure to check that out. But I picked this up kind of on a whim. I think I heard about it in passing maybe once, or I was just scrolling through the bookstore website or on Goodreads or something, and I came across it and I said, hey, that sounded interesting. So I'm picking it up. I hope to get through it in July and or soon thereafter, or soon before, depending on when I get to it. I have 3 more books on June's TBR, so yeah, this will be read. Is Gabrielle Zevin's The Storied Life of A.J. Thickery. This is about a man who runs a failing bookstore and the life he lives before that, or during that, or sometime after it. I believe his wife is dead or something like that. He's alone, it says on the back. So I heard it made you cry. It made someone cry, and I'm really looking forward to figuring out why. I'm really drawn to character-driven stories and emotional stories, and this feels like it will be both of those kind of stories. So we'll see when we read it. I'll let you know how I feel about it in the end. I'm really looking forward to reading it. Next we have the third book that I own by Brom. It's just the only one that I haven't read yet, and that is Lost Gods. This is about a man who just got out of jail and his pregnant wife looking for a safe haven from something. This has all of the vibes I'm looking for right now. The arcane horror, the unseen horror, the just dread. I'm really looking forward to reading this, especially with the mood I'm in now, and I'm definitely going to read this in Nebraska, since my love of Brom started in Nebraska when I bought The Child Thief well, technically I bought it in Colorado, but I read it in Nebraska, so that really sparked my love for Brom. So I feel like reading the next book that I have from him in Nebraska would be just like a nice full circle moment. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Weird vibes all around, just like in all of Brom's books. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the artwork that he has, even though I know what it looks like because I'm looking at it right now. So I should say I'm really looking forward to putting context to the pictures I just saw from Brom. I do a deeper dive into Brom as an author because he's not really talked about a lot, but I feel like he should be, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how everything that I know about this book and I know about his writing in general comes together. So yeah, the cover's really shiny, so I'm sorry, there's a window right there. Deal with it. Next, since I am in a Night Vale mood, I am going to be reading It Devours by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. I don't know a lot about what this is about. I know it probably has something about, I feel like it has something to do, I feel like this book has something to do with something trying to eat Night Vale, a giant hole or something. There's a smiling god involved, as always in Night Vale. I like the other two Night Vale novels that I read before, The Faceless Old Woman Who Secretly Lives in Your Home and the titular Welcome to Night Vale. So I'm really looking forward to this book, since this is the only Welcome to Night Vale book that's set in Night Vale that I haven't read. I also have Alice Isn't Dead, but that's going to be read this month, well, June, before the end of the month, because it is LGBT and it's Pride Month, so it'd be kind of homophobic of me if I didn't. But for It Devours will be read in July. I don't know when, but it will be. Probably soon, because I'm in the mood. Next, because it is physically impossible for me to go too long without reading a horror book, I'm going to be reading Misery by Stephen King. I feel like this is a great book to read. I was planning on reading this book near December because it is a snowy themed book, since it does have something to do with an author and his biggest fan going crazy in a snowy cabin together. But I feel like it would also be nice to read in Nebraska where there's no one around and it's kind of isolated, just like in this book, so I feel like the vibes are all around. This book, like everyone knows, is about an author who gets injured and trapped by his biggest fan, who begs him and tortures him into writing a solid conclusion for her favorite book series. So I've never read this book. I think everyone loves this book. I believe it may be 50-50, but a majority of the people who I've heard talk about this book say this is his best work. So I'm really looking forward to finally taking the dive and reading it. Next, I am going to be finally taking the plunge and reading the second book in the Vagrant series, and that is The Malice by Peter Newman. The first book in this series follows a kind of found family as they look through an post-apocalyptic wasteland, searching for safe haven for themselves and the baby they've picked up along the way. The second book is set, I believe it is years after. The lighting got weird. Clouds. I don't know how many years this book is set after the original one, but I am looking forward to reading it, getting back into this world, and then hopefully it'll push me to find the Seven, which is the last book in this trilogy. I've heard mixed reviews about the last one from the singular person that I've heard about this book from. I haven't heard anyone else talk about this series anywhere in the world, so I'm hoping that once I find it, I'm hoping to do a massive review of all three of them, because I want more people to talk about this book because it's really good. Hopefully on my trip to Nebraska I'll be able to find the third one without harm or without problems, because I'm pretty lucky like that. Except for the fourth book in the Johann Cabal series, that is an outlier and should not be counted in the statistics against me finding books pretty easily. I have two more books on this list, and the first one is something that I am definitely bringing to Nebraska. It is definitely getting read soon, and I am not just saying that and putting it off later. I'm bringing it to Nebraska, and I'm not going to leave or buy new books until I've read this. because I said I was going to, and that is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I've put this on so many TBRs throughout the years that I've had this, and I just haven't touched it. So I feel like bringing it to Nebraska, where I have nothing to do but sit around and read, will really push me into finally reading this book. And if I don't, I'm either gonna burn it to get it off of my shelf, or I'm just gonna stop reading entirely because it's utterly ridiculous how long I've had this book on my TBR. The Bone Houses is about this brother and sister who run their parents' graveyard after their parents die, and all of a sudden the dead people stop being dead, so they're running out of business. I believe it is Fae. It involves the Fae, so I'm going to be looking out for that. A mysterious stranger comes to town. I remember that from when I read the inside flap of it, but I don't know much else about this book because it has been so long since everyone else has read it. I haven't gotten to it yet, so I'm finally going to read it in July of the year of our Lord and Savior, 2022. And then finally, the last book that I hope to read in July is a short one, and that is All Systems Red by Martha Wells, the first book in the Murderbot Diaries. This is about, I believe, space explorers get each assigned... I believe this is about space explorers who each get assigned a murder bot for protection from whatever lies in the vast unknown of space, and one of them grows sentience. So I'm really I'm in a kind of sci-fi mood, especially with all the podcasts I've been listening to and the other stuff that I've been reading, and it's really short, so I should be able to blow through this in like a day. I hope I don't regret not bringing the rest of them with me, because I have 4 in total because it came in a box set that I bought. But I've heard really good things about this series. I've really heard especially about the first one in particular, so I'm really excited to dive in and figure out what it's all about and get my own opinions of it. It's really, like I said, it's really small. It's not going to take me too long to get through this, so probably in one of my longer sit downs in the car on the way on the road trip, or just when I have a quiet moment and just want to do that. So yeah. So those are the main 10 books that I have on my TBR, but of course I'm going to be reading manga throughout the month. I don't know which manga I'm going to be reading, so I just kind of pick up manga randomly. So I might do a wrap up for that later. I haven't really been keeping track of what I've been reading in June, so I probably won't be able to keep up with what I've been reading in July, but we shall see when we get there. But there are manga on this list. Also, like I said in the beginning, since I am going to be in Nebraska and getting a lot of reading done, I may be able to get through all of them. I'll be in Nebraska for like 13 days, so that'll give me plenty of time to read. If I need to add more books to the TBR, I'll let you know at the end of the month. But for now, these are the 10 books that I have on my TBR. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully in the future I'll have a more settled game. I've been watching other people's games and kind of been getting ideas for my own TBR game, but I'm not going to steal anyone's, even if it's just me reaching into a bag that I have and drawing out prompts randomly, or I'll be calling friends and them giving me letters. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. But for now, thank you for watching my channel. If you like this video, leave a comment about what you plan on reading. If you have any opinions on the books that I have for my TBR, let me know. Yeah, thank you. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you next time.